Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 12th, 2020. My name is Leon Weinstein, and I am broadcasting from the city of Los Angeles, great state of California. Biden's invitation for Senator Kamala Harris to become his vice president was the number one news worldwide. The situation with Biden is not altogether usual for the American politics. Everyone knows that Joe is not quite in himself. He has either dementia or Alzheimer's. He gets confused, forgets where he is and what he was talking about. The handlers try to show him, his face and him talking as little as possible, because each time he's talking, it's an embarrassment and calls for clarifications. It is clear to everyone on the left and on the right that Joe is not a presidential candidate, but a figurehead. That real game is happening behind his back by the powers trying to divide the pie. It is clear to everyone that his possible vice president is the person who will de facto manage the United States, either from behind Biden's back or by removing Biden due to his illness. So please meet the Democratic presidential candidate, Senator Kamala Harris. Some information about Kamala can be found in the book Profiles in Corruption by Peter Schweitzer. So, Kamala Devi Harris, almost said Devil Harris, was born in 1964 in California. Father, an immigrant from Jamaica, Donald Harris. He is a Marxist, professor at Stanford. The ancestors were very rich slave owners from Jamaica. That is, if you look for who shall pay the reparations to grandchildren of the black slaves, Kamala probably is the first person to come to. Mother of Indian descent, Shyamala Gopalan, belongs to the highest caste of Indian society, Brahmins. Kamala entered politics in 1994 after meeting with William Brown, the Speaker of the lower house in California, the second most important politician in the state after the governor. Brown, 60, was married. He began an affair with 29 years old Kamala, 31 years younger than he is, and immediately got her a job in the legal department of the state administration, where she received $114,000 a year without a need to come to work. Then in the Health Commission, where she was paid $99,000 a year, again without a requirement to put long hours there. Plus, Kamala received another $100,000 per annum in her work in the prosecutor's office. In total, Brown paid Kamala with our money, and she received, in addition to her $100,000 salary for the full-time job, another $213,000 or $214,000 a year for doing what? I guess for sleeping with Brown. Quite good for providing sexual services to a 60-year-old person. Apparently she did her job well, because a little later Willie Brown bought her a small present, a new Beamer. One of the ugliest pages of Harris's professional biography is her attitude toward cases against the Catholic Church in connection with the molestation of minors. While serving as district attorney, where the same Brown helped her get elected, Kamala didn't open a single case against pedophile priests. More than that, her office hid important information about pedophile victims. Choosing between pedophiles and children, Kamala made her choice: pedophiles. My guess is because pedophiles had money, plenty of money, and children probably didn't. Harris's predecessor, Torrance Halinian, established many cases of pedophilia in the Diocese of San Francisco. He then demanded that the diocese publish documents about their internal investigation. The prosecutor's office was supported by social activists who sought to punish the perpetrators. But the election of Harris made a difference. a flood of donations from California Catholic institutions and lawyers who represented the interest of the church and accused of pedophile priests poured into the account of her political committee. Harris's victory over Halinian in the fight for the position of San Francisco district attorney saved the Catholic Church. She forbade the publication of data from DXC's investigations, giving this is an official explanation that the prosecutor's office didn't want to open the names of the victims. The paradox of the situation was that the victims of molestation seeking justice have long announced their names themselves. The saving of the pedophile priests runs counter to Harris's many public statements and claims that she is an active advocate of children. She made her choice, and the choice was not to defend children. Kamala closed cases on charges of a number of Brown's friends, a bribe by the head of the city commissioner of $180,000, a scandal with Brown administration supplier Ricardo Ramirez due to the use of the second-rate materials in fulfilling city orders. He was charging for good materials, supplying not so good ones. Ramirez was threatened with prison, but Kamala Harris' office didn't even initiate criminal proceedings against him, but agreed with the fraudster on a 1-year house arrest and a fine. Explanation: Ramirez was a very generous donor to Mayor Brown's political committee. Kamala is an integral part of what we call the deep state. She knows how to manipulate the system, how to milk it, us, the taxpayers. For all those for whom the post of the servants of the people are a feeder, who fuse with the system and milk taxpayers while pretending that, they are on our side. She is definitely not. She is on her own side, period. Biden chose her despite the fact that she practically accused him of racism, staying an inch from saying this word, and also said that she believed the woman who accused Biden of sexual harassment and violence. That is, she considers him a racist, believes that he is a rapist and a liar, but at the same time she is proud and happy to be his running mate. Vice president of a liar, a rapist, and a racist. Whoa. But enough about Kamala's past. Let's see what future she offers us. Senate votes showed that Kamala is the leftmost politician among 100 senators. To the left even of Bernie Sanders, who loves communists, considers Cuba a model for the United States, supports Venezuela, and who spent his honeymoon in the arms of the KGB in Moscow. For example, one of Kamala's pet projects is to give to 13 million renters a tax discount from $3,000 to $6,000 a year. Kamala proposes that taxpayers pay part of the rent instead of the renters. They leave, but we pay. What a great idea! It is like they eat, we pay, they buy clothes, we pay, they buy gadgets, we pay, I don't know, for everything. One of the great ideas of the Marxists in all countries. They always want to rob those who, due to their ingenuity, education, and hard work, earn more, and give those who earn little. It is called among the Marxists equalization, meaning you spent years educating yourself and another person didn't bother even to go to a high school, but you will get the same compensation. Doesn't matter, same life, same good or bad or mediocre life, but same. This is the most important thing. Another idea of Kamala is called Lift the Middle Class Act. You see, giving names, socialist, wonderful with that. Right name and they pilot any program into the skies. The whole idea is to take a lot of money from the so-called rich, you and I, approximately 2 trillion over 10 years, and pass on to those who do not earn anything or earn less money. Who is rich? I'm not really sure. If you rob all rich in the United States of America, you cannot get as much money as needed, for Kamala's projects. Single people under this lift the middle class, single people will receive $250 a month, $3,000 a year for doing nothing, and couples $500 a month, $6,000 a year for doing nothing. Money, says Kamala, will be taken from 80 million well-to-do Americans, you and me, again, you and I, and transferred to 80 million low-earning Americans, as well to the illegal immigrants, of course. Critics of Kamala from the left say that it is necessary to pay not only to the adults, but also to the children, and America needs to pay much more. $2,000 per month to an adult for doing nothing, and $500 for each child under 16 years old. Some say that this should be paid only to blacks, but it's very difficult to understand who is black, who is not. Another interesting stance Kamala has on the Second Amendment, you will be very happy with that. During her presidential campaign, Harris said that if she is elected president, she will give Congress 100 days to introduce reasonable gun safety laws, and if Congress is not able to do so, then she will issue presidential decrees herself. The same thing she is criticizing right now President Trump. And in the decree will be names of the types of weapons, the population will be obliged to surrender. However, the state will pay back the value of them. That is, she wants, if not completely repeal, to significantly limit the Second Amendment to the Constitution. If you add to that Kamala not only supports the Black Lives Matter movement and protesters, but also she went on marches with them and joined the demands to reduce the number of police officers and prohibit them from the most effective actions to stop criminals. That is, on one hand, the police will no longer be able to protect you, as was evident during riots in 30 Democrat-ruled cities. And on the other hand, we will not have weapons to defend ourselves. Interesting, right? But Kamala and the city mayors who want to reduce the police budget will continue having guards with weapons hired at the expense of the taxpayers. Kamala wants to seriously change also our health industry. Kamala wants to get rid of private insurance companies within 10 years from the moment that she will be elected or will be in the White House. But she doesn't want to let doctors, hospitals, and patients to do things on their own, like talk about how much I owe you. Normally you go to a store, you dicker, you negotiate. And she wants bureaucrats, nomenclatura, to control the entire industry. Kamala wants health industry to belong to the state, where everything is paid by people who work hard and earn living, and the same service is given to the rest of the country, including illegal aliens, for free. She wants Medicare for all, or a version of Medicare for all that called Obamacare plus public option that Biden right now pushes. Actually, it's exactly the same as Medicare for all, but with better name. As I said, socialists and Democrats, they know how to attach a good name to the whatever bad idea they were proposing. Today, older people after many years of paying part of their salaries to a special fund, Social Security, received this money back in the form of Social Security checks and free healthcare, free medicine, almost free. Kamala wants any young man, any young person to be able to receive free of charge healthcare paid from the money older people collected, that the elderly put aside for their health, for health, and they pay during all their lives for that. All the ideas of Kamala has coming to the same idea, central idea, to take away from taxpayers and give someone who will vote for her and her party. She has absolutely no idea about how to increase our prosperity, the whole society prosperity. She knows where money is, in the banks where we saved them, and thinks that it's easier to take from us than to create new wealth. It is probably easier. It is called robbery in simple language. Another interesting point is that Kamala put more than 1,500 blacks in prison for smoking marijuana. Smoking, not dealing. And at the same time, laughingly, she was saying from time to time she likes to have fun with good weed. Very classy, madam who wants to be our president. Last but not least, Kamala Harris supports new Green Deal proposed by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which means that she will stop new oil drilling, gas wells, coal mining, and she will make life very difficult to the current energy producers. Kamala wants to break 4 million heating systems in commercial buildings in the United States of America and transfer all heating to the solar energy. She has no idea how to do it. It is crazy, but this is what she says she wants. Like with ownership of the weapons, Kamala believes that cars and airplanes that run on gas or any derivative of oil should be taken away from the entire population. She wants to switch all moving vehicles to energy from the sun and wind. I don't even want to start talking about that. But Kamala will leave a car for herself as well as a plane because she is a servant of the people. And for her it's necessary. I'm not kidding. This is what AOC and 100 members of the Senate and Congress, including Kamala, told us they want to do. I know it sounds as total absurd, but this is what they say they want to do. They wrote about that. They put it on their websites. It's in 20 different places, including program of Joe Biden on internet called Bold Ideas. And how about building a multi-dwelling buildings for low-income tenants in the middle of our sleepy suburbs? And bringing homeless pedophiles for the rights of whom she fought, and generally poor from the inner cities. I think Trump is incredibly lucky that of all the bad candidates for vice presidency, or de facto the president of the United States, the Democrats didn't have the mind to take someone who would not be such a gift to Trump. Kamala has so many skeletons in her closet that she is just a wonderful example of why you cannot vote for Democrats in 2020. Kamala is corrupt, ready to cover pedophiles for money, ready to cover friends of her lover. Together with the Black Lives Matter, she believes that the family is an unnecessary unit of society that should be destroyed. Remember the communists of the 20s, in the previous century, the beginning of previous century, destroying faith in God, taking weapons from the population and destroying families. That was their primary task. I see Kamala Harris as a neo-Marxist aggressively supporting genocide against whites, a corrupt politician who thinks that she is better than we are, and together with the rest of the deep state wants to build a high wall between us and them, servants of the people. And behind the wall they will have different health care. We saw it in the USSR and other socialist countries. We know already that Congress made their own rules for themselves different from the whole country, right? They will be guarded by armed guards that will be hired with our money. An embodiment of dishonesty, meanness, and prostitution. Kamala is what is called in America gold digger. Want a gold digger who despises you as your president? Go ahead and vote for the old Uncle Joe candidacy. You will be getting her as a free gift. That's all. Until the next time.